And our first IVASS 18 keynote speaker is Mr. Ram Setapalli, CEO, Europe Assistance India. Mr. Setapalli joined Europe Assistance India in 2015. Before this, he enjoyed an exciting 10-year stint as a struggling entrepreneur in India in 3 different startups. From 2001 to 2006, he was the managing director, Asia Pacific for Travelport, a Fortune 50 company based in Hong Kong. He also worked with Lehman Brothers and Donaldson, Lufkin and Generate, DLJ, in investment banking in New York and Hong Kong. Mr. Setapalli will share his expert views on how to power up the right customer experience via digital. Mr. Setapalli, please. Please welcome him with a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Good morning. It's an honor to speak to a room full of professionals with great domain experience and expertise. I'll admit that I'm an outsider. I'm not from the automotive background, and neither are many of the members of my team. Yet I believe there's a lot of energy and a lot of value that we hope to bring to the table. So as you may know, we are an assistance company. And by assistance, I mean we provide roadside assistance, we do vehicle servicing, we provide lifestyle and concierge services, we do travel and medical assistance. We do a wide range of, we offer a wide range of products and services to our clients. But our mission, what we aim to do is serve you, our clients, in terms of driving strong customer engagement and driving strong brand loyalty as a result of that. And I'd like to dig into a little bit and close the loop in terms of how digitization helps in this regard. One of our core focuses that I'm extremely proud of is the energy and the effort that we put into achieving strong customer engagement and strong customer satisfaction. We measure this religiously. We talked in the previous panel about social media and complaints and things like that. I'll just say one sentence about Europe Assistance in this regard, and then move on to the topic of the day. As I said, we religiously track complaints. We get a handful of complaints. You can never avoid them, but what makes us feel really good about the work we've done is the disproportionate share of positive feedback that comes. So while a social media complaint may show up, we're getting 10, 20 times more positive feedback for the work that we're doing. And a big part of that is how we're combining technology and digitization into the initiative. So my topic today, and I'll start talking about the subject at hand, is driving strong customer engagement and promoting brand loyalty. Powering up a customer's digital experience. So here's some of the thoughts I'd like to share with you about how we're approaching this opportunity and this challenge. I think what I want to state at the outset is we are a B2B2C company. Our business is actually your business. We view our role as promoting your success and your customers. So for the rest of this conversation, while I'm an assistance company, I'm going to use the word we to discuss how we work together to drive a stronger customer experience. So in this regard, I have 5 observations, 5 points that I'd like to make. The first one is that disruption is happening in the marketplace. My point is targeted towards OEMs. So I realize there are non-OEM providers here as well. But there is an increasing attempt by third-party service centers to take a disproportionate share of the after-sales business into their portfolio. Obviously, the after-sales business is a strong driver of profitability for OEMs. More importantly, you've got a new age breed of startups that are using technology and better customer experiences, better platforms to create a big threat. This has happened across in multiple industries. We see that about to happen in a big way in the automotive space as well. So we, as a team, have to match the hunger and the speed of what some of these startups are trying to do to retain our customers, to increase brand loyalty, to increase customer engagement. So that's point number one. Point number two, I think we kind of tend to forget about this. Whether it's a 2 lakh car owner in Rajasthan or a 50 lakh car owner in Delhi or Bombay, I think our customers are pretty sophisticated. By that, I mean they all have a smartphone, they access the web regularly, they use WhatsApp, and WhatsApp is, you think of it as a social tool, but in our opinion, it's going to completely redefine customer experience in the coming 3 to 6 months, and you'll start seeing this happen. So the fact that they are using WhatsApp is a powerful concept for us to keep in mind from a digitization point of view. Paytm is almost omnipresent these days, digital payments. So if you think about this, that's a pretty smart, pretty sophisticated customer. How do we reach them? What do we do? What can we do for them? For the second point, the thought to take away is that the customer expectations are changing. Their growth, their experience, their comfort with technology is accelerating, and we would argue that they're going to be the ones that are going to drive change, demand change from us as an automotive fraternity. So if you take taxi service, it's completely changed in the last 4 to 5 years. Food delivery, banking. Once you place an order, you know exactly what's happening. You know where the driver is, what the status of your order is. You have access to your history. You've got receipts. You can chat with the customer service representative. You can speak to them. There's an instant CSAT score that's taking place. There's a lot that's happening with technology, and I believe that has to come into the automotive space as well. It's not a question of time. It's essential. It's imminent. So that's point number two. Point number three, from a service and assistance point of view, in our opinion, sitting where we are, picking up the phone to address the urgent need of a customer, we think that first interaction will still likely be a phone call. But beyond that, so this is whether it's an RSA service, whether you're calling to book a vehicle service, whether you're calling to file an insurance claim or take up some sort of a loyalty program, you will likely make that first call. The reason I'm saying that is while we all love the concept of a mobile app, the likelihood of us having real estate, sorry, my phone's missing, but I was going to show my phone to say, how much real estate is there on this phone? How many apps am I willing to put up here? And my guess is I drive a Toyota. I don't have space on my phone for a Toyota app, as much as I might like the brand. So the question is, how do you create engagement with a customer when the likely first engagement is a phone call? So with that in place, what can we do to digitize that entire experience and that entire service process? So the expectation is I need to know what's going on, when it's going on time. That's what they want to see, and they want to see it done digitally. An interesting side note from a customer experience point of view, 1 year ago, almost all of our interaction with the customer was by phone. They would call us to say, where's my roadside provider? We don't need to do that much anymore. We are proactively communicating with them. That's digitization at work. So right information, right time, proactively, after that first level, likely voice interaction. So here are some of the examples. I think, actually, I'll just stop here for a second. Why is this important? Because we are trying to create trust and transparency in I'm talking about us as an assistance company and you as our OEM clients, trying to create trust and transparency with our customers. And the more we're able to do and provide services in a manner that they're already accustomed to, I think we're going to better serve ourselves and our brands. So here are some simple examples that I'll talk about, as well as a couple of more complex ones. In the roadside assistance world, if you take telematics and a very smart car out of the equation, we spend a couple of minutes trying to identify where are you located, where is your problem, where did you break down. We've kind of digitized that completely. So we identify the problem. For most of our customers, we send a link. So just click on that link if you have a smartphone. We will know where you are. It's beautiful from saving time, but it's also much better in terms of communicating with our provider network in terms of conveying what the location is. So that's one simple example. Insurance claims, again, same point. A call comes to say, I've got problem X, Y, and Z, I need to file a claim. After that, an automated process takes over. Because if you have a fender that's damaged, so it's bodywork, we have a decision tree in terms of what kind of documents you need to file, what the process is. We automate that process, and we digitize it so that a customer is always aware that we're waiting for A, B, or C in order for us to process the claim. They don't need to keep calling us repeatedly to say, what's happening to my claim? So that's another example of digitization at work. I will talk a little bit about our network. The reality is 99% of service providers for roadside assistance are common across brands. Our competitors use the same network providers that we do. Some of them we do, and our competitors do have their own tow trucks, but that's a small fraction. So if you're talking about digitizing, you are talking about digitizing 99% of the network that you don't own, that you don't control. That's a profound challenge. And I'm going to talk about roadside assistance a little bit in the next point that I'd like to make. But here's an example from a service center point of view that we're digitizing. Just last week, I got my Toyota serviced. It was just a regular service. So a pickup and drop guy came to my office, picked up my car. It was a regular service. I knew it was a scheduled service. I just wanted to know what it would cost. The guy couldn't tell me. So he had to take the car to the service center. Obviously, the car is parked somewhere for an advisor to be available. 3 hours later, I get a call from an advisor to tell me what the service cost is. So that's the current process. Here's what we hope to launch in the next 2 months or less. A pickup and drop executive comes to your house. He takes a picture of your license plate. He takes a picture of the odometer. And through optical character recognition, now, mind you, I'm talking about stuff we can demonstrate to you. I'm only talking about 2 months to go live. Through optical character recognition, we identify the make, the model of the car, and what the likely service is, the scheduled service is, for the customer. With the help and with the integration of our OEM partners, if we get the price list integrated, at the point of pickup, we're able to say, here is your likely cost. Are you okay with it? Here's the likely things that we're going to fix for you today. Are you okay with it? So here, this is another example of transparency and trust at work between us and our customers. So that is point number 4, which is the kind of work that we can digitize. Point number 5, and this is the tough one, is how do you effectively digitize? I think from a conceptual point of view, we all understand digitization is important. We all understand the power of digitization and the benefit for the customer. But how do you make it happen? Honestly, this requires a decent amount of investment in time and effort. With no disrespect to any techies in this room, this has to be led by the business team. This has to be led by the leaders to understand what you want to deliver, how you want to deliver it. So if I look at, obviously you need strong teams. You need to have a deep understanding of the processes that you want to digitize and how. But more important, but specifically, I would say there are 4 ingredients. Ingredient number 1, you got to digitize the entire ecosystem. You can't just build one feature and have it work. If you take roadside assistance as an example, I would say it has failed in India. We have the technology. Uber is using essentially the same technology. Swiggy, Ola are using the same technology. Why hasn't it worked? It's because it's not just an app where you make a booking. It's also how the rest of the ecosystem is working and involved. So I'll give you an example here. Take puncherwalas. Take punchers as a problem. If you want help to arrive for your car in a few minutes. There are thousands and thousands of puncharwalas located all over the country who can pretty much repair a flat tire for most cars. The reality is they don't want to work with us because these guys are very small businessmen. They just want to get paid today. Give me cash today, I'll give you I'll get the job done. So in order to enroll someone like that, and I'm talking about the lowest end of the food chain, not a tow truck owner who also has similar demands because they're competing with various orders that might be coming to them, what we have built is a paperless billing system. You accept our job, you do our job, we can pay you instantly. For that to happen, you need to follow tons of Indian rules and regulations. You need to understand how billing works. There's finance, accounting issues. There's digital signature issues. There's PAN card, Aadhaar issues. We have enabled this. So we believe the app, the front-facing app, where you say, this is the service I want, that's the simplest thing to do. Anyone can do it. But in order to make that a success, in order for that to translate into a rich customer experience, you need the vendor to be supportive. You need the vendor to participate. You need the vendor to worry about his reputation because the platform is going to take his score. You need the vendor to understand arriving on time results in a reward. Being late or having a poor customer CSAT score is going to result in a penalty. These are aspects of the digital ecosystem where you're, the digital platform where you're enrolling the entire ecosystem to succeed. And so this is a complex example of digitization that we are trying to solve. And we are ready with this capability. Just 2-3 very other quick things. Omni-channel capability is something we cannot ignore. A customer may call us, may send us a message by WhatsApp, he may choose to chat, he may choose a web browser or a progressive app. Our digitization experience has to be basically blind to the channel with which he's trying to approach us and be able to toggle between the two. I get a call and I use an artificial bot to send a response. So it is like, for example, just take, where's my vehicle? That can be an instant answer much faster than a phone call if he is writing that question into the microsite that we're going to be sending him once a case is activated. Omni-channel capabilities, allowing the customer flexibility to decide how and when he wants to interact with us, and also have a CRM sorry, was someone saying something to me? No, I'm done anyway. Two more key points. Open source CRM platforms. You can't take that for granted. The flow of information in multi-directions between different parties is essential. If you don't have that going, it is very difficult to pull off digitization successfully. Last thing you require are strong business intelligence tools. Because of the flow of data, you cannot be successful if you don't know what's happening and what you can and should be doing in real time. So when you think about digitization, first and foremost, you got to think of the entire ecosystem. You have to have omni-channel capabilities. It can't be 1 or 2 channels. You've got to think about your platform, the CRM platform, that it can incorporate multiple and diverse flows of information. And you need to be smart about it through business intelligence and tools. So I'm proud to say that over the last 3 years, we've laid the groundwork for all of what I've talked about today. So I'm happy to talk to you through my team, of course, and show you all of this in action. I'm going to stop by, and in closing, say this. We think of ourselves as a customer engagement and a customer experience company. We are a B2B2C company. We don't have any conflicts of interest. It's your customer, it's your product, it's your data. Our job is to leverage all of that to help you as an OEM fraternity. So thank you. I don't know if we have time for questions. Are we? Great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was definitely very interesting, and look forward to something that's going to be launched soon.